follow the leader. Friends hang low, friends keep their friends on post. This ain't no religion, we let them kid things go. Blood moon rising, fires in the night sky. Never mind, this your minds, we call it the bright side. Sending shots preordained, your legacy wipe out. Obadiah, Malachi, you can't touch me. Two witnesses, now you sleep like comfy. Better have your garments white, you damn dummy. Better have your garbage outside. Better keep your foot when you see me like Harlem Nights outside. Call them foxes for lying and taking your bread. They a joke like Jamie and Red. Losing hope, misuse and quotes. Our people hanging from trees and you the rope. We trying to free you from ghettos in this democracy. Ethnic cleansing, hypocrisy, blood moon. Moon rising, fires in the night sky. Never mind that it's your demise, no more the night sky. Keep a sword on the hip and it's just the right size. In case I need to open your rib and let some life out. Sometimes we got a hunger to kill the flesh. Rebuild the spirit a bit, rebuild it fresh. We've been walking the same road since Gilgamesh. Still a mess and we still oppressed. Blood moon night, must be your tongue two-side. Say you love me, now I'm seeing that I must choose sides. More shots than that page I do, AI2. Now I feel like deja vu. Pray I access the favor through the gate I choose. Got family back in the world, pray for their lives too. Paul said it and now I'm feeling like daylight do. It's my heart's prayer that God open their eyes too. Do what you do, just don't you break the rules. Me hunger moves me towards the lake of truth. We under fools that like to negate the proof. That's why we got a real blade for you. You see the blood moon. When you see blood moons, it's too late. Better have friends and live in true faith. By the Father business, we live in these pages. We in the last ages. Fight back mode. Brothers with that night black on. Last dragon, caps back in tie back mode. Who the master according to 14 Isaiah? My prayer, we slay him and fly back. My raps are stacked up under the trees of life. You keep that paganism, religion alive. I like to see you face the east at night. To them we praying for our people to rise. Blood, blood, blood. When you see blood moons, it's too late. Better have friends and live in true faith. By the Father business, we live in these pages. We in the last ages. When you see blood moons, it's too late. Better have friends and live in true faith. By the Father business, we live in these pages. We in the last ages.
Shalom, Yashala, Shalom, Shalom. All right, we back with another Thursday Night Live, man. I'm your brother Judah. We got the brothers Jeremiah and Kaya, mighty soldiers out of Atlanta, on the scene. All right, we're doing something a little different, man. We actually simultaneously casting to the regular page and the Sons of Thunder North Carolina page, because we're about to start doing our Thursday night classes on the North Carolina page, man. So if you support Sons of Thunder Israelites, man, definitely subscribe to Sons of Thunder Israelites North Carolina. You can see it in the description. All right, so you can catch these classes as we start bringing them out on Thursdays, man. All right. So look, man, we were supposed to have this class on Monday. All right, but we did something else, so we're gonna do it today. All right. Today's class is the biblical understanding of heaven and hell. All right. Once again, the biblical understanding of heaven and hell. If you can hear me, put a 7 in the chat. Jeremiah, do a sound check real quick, King.
Shalom, shalom, family.
All right, if you can hear me, put a 7 in the chat. If you can hear Jeremiah, put a 1 in the chat. All right. Kaya, do a sound check real quick, King.
Khan, shalom, Yashala, shalom.
Khan, and we got the brother, the Elder Eliel in the building. Sound check.
Shalom,
Can you hear me?
Khan, we good.
Y'all ain't start yet, did y'all?
Nah, you right on time. All right, so look, man, let's get the housekeeping out the way, man. All right, we're a Bible school, so go ahead and get your pens, your pads, your Bibles, your Apocrypha. All right, we may do a part 2 to this joint. I don't know yet. But if we do, you're going to definitely need your concordance on that one. All right. Also, tune into our weekly classes, man. We got Milk Monday, all right, with myself and the Elder Eliel, with the brother Araya. And we got Truth Tuesdays with the captains Mayakaya, with the captain Yakum Yah, with the brother Yara'al, and then other captains that they have coming on that show, man. All right, on Thursdays, you got myself, all right, and you're going to see a plethora of brothers. It's not just going to be the same brothers every week. You're going to see a plethora of brothers. This is Kaya's second time on here. You know what I'm saying? Brother Jeremiah been wanting to do a show with this brother, so this first time on here, you're going to see different brothers on this particular class, man. You're going to start seeing new faces, man, all right? And then you also got the Friday night class with the Elder Yahweh. All right, he brings out the practicality of the scriptures every Friday, all right, at 8:30. Before that, though, on Friday night, you can see Free Course Friday on the streets of Atlanta, man. All right, they got Camp, the brother Kaya, the brother Kahari, the brother Jeremiah, the captains Aharon and Malachiah, right? Elder Canal pops up out there every once in a while. You know what I'm saying? You can see those brothers on the streets in Atlanta on Friday evenings before the Sabbath class. All right. On Saturday mornings, you can catch Saturday Morning Brew with the brother Aharon, the brother The Rock. You'll see myself up there sometimes. The captain Yaquab will be up there sometimes, and a plethora of other soldiers. All right. Then you can catch the main camp in Atlanta, 2 p.m. Woodruff Park on Facebook Live, and you can catch us on IG Live when I remember to go live, right? 2 p.m. right here in LeBower Park in Greensboro, North Carolina. All right. Also, all right. Hey, Elia, Purim is already closed, right?
I mean,
Hey, send an email anyway. If it's closed, they'll let you know.
That's what I'm
If
saying.
it's closed, they'll let you know. All right. So if you want to feast with Atlanta, SOT Atlanta for the Feast of Purim, that's Sunday, February 13th at even. Send an email to Sons of Thunder Israelites at gmail.com. All right. North Carolina, our venue got booked up for a Super Bowl party. So we'll just be tuning into the class. But if you want to ever feast with us, March the 2nd on a new moon, you can send an email to Sons of Thunder IsraelitesNC at gmail.com. And also send your email to Atlanta for the new moon, Sons of Thunder Israelites at gmail.com. All right. Make sure you follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Patreon. We got the TikToks going on. We got a plethora of things we working on, man, for the people, you know, trying to bring the word out to the nation. Don't forget, got camps in Atlanta, North Carolina, Ohio, D.C., Alabama, and we got the brother Yaquab in Fort Myers, Florida. So if you're in Fort Myers, Florida and surrounding areas, definitely send an email to Sons of Thunder Israelites at gmail.com if you want to do the work. If you want to do the work in any of those areas or area where we don't got a camp yet, send an email to Sons of Thunder Israelites at gmail.com, man.
Hey, you mentioned the Saturday morning brew class?
I did.
All right, make sure.
I made sure I did that. Yeah. All right. So man, I think we handled everything.
Hey, brother.
Yeah, go ahead.
Start with hell first so we can end on a good note.
Okay. All right. Let's do it then, man. All right, so we know the Christian church, man, they will scare the literal hell out of you. Right? Back when I was coming up, man, if my mama is watching this, she gonna laugh because this is a true story. You know, everybody called me Big Judah. You know what I'm saying? People know my personality. I don't play too many games on the streets, but hey, we when we was kids, we went to this thing called the Judgment House. I don't know if y'all ever been to a thing called Judgment House before, but the Judgment House, it was a live play, and they turned every place in the church into a different scene. So you might go into the fellowship hall or the dining hall. That might be a scene of something. You go outside, that's another scene. You go into a different room, that's another scene. You know what I'm saying? You go into the basement, that's another scene. You go into different rooms, and there's different scenes for one story, right? Now, they have a scene in the thing. Every Judgment House, it does not matter. They have the hell scene. And the hell scene will scare the hell out of you if you a kid. And then you got the white man, he comes up and he asks, does anybody want to get saved? And they scare you into accepting white Jesus. and then he gives you a golden ticket. That's your golden ticket into heaven. And, you know, I went up in there because I was scared, man. I was a little kid, right? And then what ended up happening? I slept with my mama for like 3 weeks. That hell scene was so scary. They had fire. They had smoke. They had all these demons popping out of everywhere. Faces come. They would scare the hell out of you, man. But if you knew better, if we were taught better, right? If the Christian church taught you the truth, you would know there's no reason to be scared of that. Because, you know, you would know that that's not a literal depiction of hell. How many of y'all seen Tales from the Hood? Y'all seen that before?
Con.
Y'all remember the end part? That joke will scare you, bro. You see what I'm saying? So let's get into it, man. We're gonna get into hell. All right. So I want y'all to give me somebody turn Kai, give me 2 Samuel 22:6. We want to end on a good note, so we're gonna do hell first. We're gonna knock that out first.
Yeah.
All right, give me a second to get there. Yeah, go ahead.
Con. This is the book of 2 Samuel, chapter 22 and verse 6.
Mm-hmm.
The sorrows of hell compassed me about. The snares of death prevented me.
Right. So he says the sorrows of hell. Sorrow is a like an emotional state, a feeling. Right. The sorrows of hell, right, compassed me about. The snares of death prevented me. Let's keep going on that though.
Con. Verse 7. In my distress.
In my what?
In my distress. I called upon the Lord and cried to my God, and he did hear my voice out of his temple, and my cry did enter into his ears.
So we can see we can see that hell is a condition, a lower state, right? It says, in my distress, right? He was in sorrow and distress. He described it as being in hell, right? So now that right there, we never learned in church. We only learned one thing for hell. The only thing we learned about hell was a place where there's a red man under the ground poking you with a pitchfork. You in fire forever, brimstone, gnashing the teeth. That's all we ever learned in the church. If somebody learned something else, you can put it in the chat, but I don't remember that. All right, Jeremiah, go to Isaiah 5, and we're gonna talk about one of the ways, you know, we kind of went in. We was in hell.
Hey, before we do that, right? What you got to understand about hell, this concept, right? A lot of people don't realize that hell is not something that you die to and go to, right? It's more than that. It's not just a place that you got to wait to die to go to, just like heaven's not a place you got to wait to die to go to, right? So what you got to understand about hell in the broad sense is that what the white man is giving you, what the Greeks gave you, right? The Romans, all that type of stuff, that concept with that Greek god, and you know, whether you believe in the Greek god or the red devil or whatever with the pitchfork and the horns and stuff, that's the same concept, right? What you got to understand is that person, that entity that could bring you into that situation, or that could put you in that situation, that's constantly poking you, that's Esau, right? If you want to call it that. That's the only entity you should think of when it comes to hell, right? That being the case, the people who Esau is constantly poking are the people that are in the hellish condition today, right? That would be the so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, the Israelites, as the Bible calls us, right? So, yeah, today, as we go throughout the hell portion of the, lesson, y'all are going to realize that hell is a condition on earth, and that there's certain things that we've been going through since we went off that have proven that we are in hell, and we are going to continue to be in hell until we do the things that are needed for us to get ourselves out of that condition, right? Which will lead us to taking the kingdom and us being put in a state of heaven, right? By Mashiach Yahushua. So that's the broad spectrum of the lesson, in case y'all wasn't going to catch on to that. All right, go ahead, Judy. You on mute.
Damn, my bad. Give me Isaiah chapter 5 and verse 13.
Another one. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 5 and verse 13. Therefore, my people are gone into captivity because they have no knowledge, and their honorable men are famished, and their multitude dried up with thirst.
So we know that our people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. But let's see who Isaiah is talking about. Let's go to Isaiah 1.
Hey, do you got Tobit 13 on here?
All
right. When you finish Isaiah, let me bring this up.
Okay, let's go to Isaiah 1. And read verse 3. We always bring this out. Let's go ahead and bring that out.
Another one. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 1 and verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib.
Mm-hmm.
But Israel doeth not know.
But who?
But Israel doeth not know.
Uh-huh.
My people doeth not consider.
So we go back to Isaiah 5. We know who the people that Isaiah is talking about. We know that that's the people, that's the children of Israel. All right, so let's read that again.
Another one, starting at verse 13 again.
Let's do that again.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 5 and verse 13.
Uh-huh.
Therefore, my people are gone into captivity because they have no knowledge, and their honorable men are famished,
mm-hmm.
and their multitude dried up with thirst.
Let's get the point. Keep going.
Therefore, hell hath enlarged herself.
Therefore, what?
Therefore, hell hath enlarged herself.
So it said, my people have gone into captivity, and the honorable men are famished and dried up with thirst. Therefore, hell have enlarged herself. Right? So now we see that it's another state of being. Captivity is being in hell. That's hell. Let's think about the condition of our people, man. Let's think about Deuteronomy 28:15 on down. Is that heaven or is that hell? That was hell. Let's think about your woman being hung up and her feet is cut from her belly and stomped. That's not a heaven-like condition, right? Being hunted down with doggone with bloodhounds. That's not heaven. Being raped, taken from your homeland, spending months on a ship where you defecated on each other, urinated on each other. Your women had to cycle on each other. It's 100-something degrees on the bottom of a ship. Is that a heaven-like condition? That's a hell condition. Keep going.
I'm gonna start at verse 14.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, hell hath enlarged herself and opened her mouth without measure.
Mm-hmm.
And their glory and their multitude and their pomp, and he that rejoiceth shall descend into it.
Come on, man. It said, therefore, hell have enlarged herself and opened her mouth without measure, and their glory and their multitude and their pomp, and he that rejoiceth shall descend into it. That's a low state of being, man. Right? Go ahead and get your precept out of one. I'm gonna keep going.
This is Tobit chapter 13, right? Tobit knew that it was possible for our people to be put into a state of hell and then brought back out of that state of hell. He also knew what we needed to do to get brought up out of that state of hell, right? It's the book of Tobit chapter 13, verse 1. It says, then Tobit wrote a prayer of rejoicing and said, blessed be the Most High God that liveth forever, and blessed be his kingdom. For he doth scourge and hath mercy, right? So the Most High can put you in a situation and he can't have mercy on you afterwards, right? Sometimes that's just a tool, if you want to call it that the Most High used to chasten his children, right? Just like, your parents might have used a belt to chasten you when you was little to make sure that you don't do things again, right? That you didn't used to do. Some parents use a switch or a stick, right? Some folks do shoes at their kids, whatever it might be, right? But that was the thing that they did to chasten you, to punish you, to make sure that, hey, when you see this belt or you see that switch or you see that shoe or whatever it is, right? You know not to do what you did, right? So he does scourge and he does have mercy. he does lead down to hell, and he does bring up again. Neither is there any that can avoid his hand, right? So he can bring you down into hell, and he can bring you back up again. And that's essentially what he's doing with our people, right? He's testing us by bringing us into hell. That's part of that trying process, because we didn't keep the law, statutes, commandments that he gave us at the beginning, right? In that covenant that we made with him. So now he's trying us to see who's going to endure this hell until the end and have faith in him, right? Not give up on him because of the hell that we've been put in because of the sins that we made against him, right? Because you'll see that's a lot of things people do too. A brother tried that with us last Saturday, I believe, right? Come to camp and, why should we follow God knowing that we went into slavery and this, that, and the third, right? So they start to use that as an excuse not to follow the Most High God of the Bible, because they think, well, if he did that to us, why should we follow him, right? Without realizing that you got put in hell because that was your punishment, right? When your parents used to ground you when you was little because you did something you weren't supposed to do, and you had to stay in your room for 2 weeks or whatever it was, right? You couldn't go out with your friends, couldn't play the video game, couldn't watch TV, whatever it was that you got grounded from, right? You was stopped in your tracks from doing whatever you was doing to prevent you from getting back in more trouble, right? Most High put us in hell to prevent us from getting back in more trouble. You feel me? Some of us ain't learned from that, and we continue to, stay in that hellish condition to the point where sometimes you never make it out and your light gets put out in hell, right? And then there's those of us that are going to wake up and realize what's going on, and we're going to endure to the end. Most High will, right? Whether it be the end of your time here or the actual end when the Mashiach Yahushua comes, right? So continuing on, he also said, confess him before the Gentiles, ye children of Israel, for he had scattered us among them, right? So that goes into that captivity that the brother Judah was just bringing out in Isaiah, right? That captivity, all of the captivities that we've been in, rather, they're all a part of the different aspects of hell that we've witnessed as a people, right? These captivities are most definitely a hellish condition. Exactly. We live in the hell, Ephraim, right? So that's what I want to bring out. Brothers like Tobit knew that this is a condition that our people were in. It's not something to blame the Most High for, to get mad at. It's something to realize, okay, this is our punishment. To get about this punishment, to set ourselves free, there's something we have to do, right? When you set yourself free, you're not setting yourself free from the Most High. You're setting yourself free from hell, essentially, right? And then you're giving yourself an opportunity to be able to endure to the end, to be saved, right? Those of us that get saved, Most High will be the ones that make it to the kingdom of heaven and get that state of rulership where we get to, essentially put our enemies in hell as they have us in hell, right? Go ahead, Judah.
Kyle, you got that precept for me?
Khan at one.
Okay, let's bring it up.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 28 and verse 14.
Mm-hmm.
Wherefore, hear the word of the Lord, ye scornful men that rule this people which is in Jerusalem.
Mm-hmm.
Because ye have said, we have made a covenant with death, and with hell are we at agreement.
Wait. How can you make a covenant with a lake of fire? Because if I'm not mistaken, the Christian church teaches that that hell is a place that you go after you die, under the ground, and it's a lake of fire.
If you was bad,
if you was a bad person,
like any of them niggas is good.
Right, right? It said, read from the top, read 14 again.
Verse 14. Wherefore, hear the word of the Lord, ye scornful men that rule this people which is in Jerusalem.
Mm-hmm.
Because ye have said, we have made a covenant with death, and with hell are we at agreement.
Uh-huh.
When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, it shall not come unto us, for we have made lies our refuge, and under falsehood have we hid ourselves.
Hey, this be our people. In politics, it be your Creflos of the world, your TD Snakes. It be them, right? Hey, we have made lies our refuge, and under falsehood we have hid ourselves. So when that famine comes, we gonna be rich and ain't nothing gonna touch us, right? I don't want Eliel did a class on the boule and the gatekeepers. This be them. Well, let's get an example. Let's get John 11:47.
This is the book of John, chapter 11, and verse 47.
Mm-hmm.
And it reads, Then gathered the chief priests and the Pharisees a council and said, What do we? For this man doeth many miracles.
Now in the chat, I want somebody to answer this. Who is this man that doeth many miracles? Don't blurt it out, because I know one of y'all was about to blurt it out. Right? I saw it all over Kaya's face. Kaya was ready. Right? Who's this man that does many miracles? Right? That the chief priests and the Pharisees were just talking about. Somebody put it in the chat. I know it's probably a little delayed. If somebody see it before I do, you can let me know. Right?
Hey, you gonna get any conditions of hell? Anything that happens to us while we here type stuff?
If you got something, bring it out, because I got so many notes.
All right.
Yeah. Okay, there you go. Boom. John Allen, the Son of Man, Jahaziel, Yahushua, Ramonica Wade, Yahushua. Okay, Khan. Let's read it from the top again. And then let's
okay. They just not popping up for me.
Yeah, they really is just popping up. Like, I don't know what's up. Let's read that from the top again, and then let's go, let's keep going.
Khan, this is the book of John, chapter 11, and verse 47.
Mm-hmm.
Then gathered the chief priests and the Pharisees a council and said, What do we? For this man doeth many miracles. If we let him thus alone, all men will believe on him. And the Romans shall come and take away both our place and nation.
Hey, see? Hey, we leave this man alone. We keep letting this dude keep telling the truth. Everybody gonna believe in what he's saying. And the Romans gonna take away our place in society. Let's go back to Isaiah 28 and read verse 14 and 15 again. This is an agreement with death and hell. You're agreeing with your adversary. Right? Go ahead.
It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 28 and verse 14. Wherefore hear the word of the Lord, ye scornful men, that rule this people which is in Jerusalem. Because ye have said, we have made a covenant with death, and with hell are we at agreement. When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, it shall not come up, Salaki, it shall not come unto us. For we have made lies our refuge, and under falsehood have we hid ourselves.
Hey, didn't I prophesy in your name? Didn't we heal people in your name? Right? Hey, tomorrow shall be as this day, but much more abundant. This is what your pastors say. This is for the same people that we got to make this lesson to unteach what they taught. These same people are saying these same things. All right, but let's move on.
Hold on, before you go anywhere, right? Just to let me back up what you're saying, right? Because a lot of the pastors, they won't believe that, hell is a condition that we live in right now, especially the black ones, right? They don't believe that. Anybody heard of Amir Locke? Anybody heard that going on, that whole situation right now? Because, Israelites don't watch the news no more. So, sometimes we be not in tune with what's going on and stuff. Should be watching the news, but y'all don't watch the news no more. All right. So let me show you. Like with Breonna Taylor, they had the whole no knock warrant thing, right? And they went in, they shot the house up. Breonna ended up dying. Her boyfriend tried to save her. He shot a cop, and then he almost, got his life taken away from him in jail, but they let him go, and he ended up suing, and he's in the process of that right now, right? So they had another situation like that happen to a brother named Amir, right? Amir Locke. I think he's about the same age as me, if I'm not mistaken. And he didn't make it, right? No knock warrant. I don't even think he was the right person they was looking for.
He wasn't.
Yeah, and he's dead. You know what I'm saying? They walked into the wrong house. They shot first, asked questions later, and the dude that they shot was not even the guy who they was looking for.
Shot him 3 times in 10 seconds.
See that? Bad. I don't even know the details. I just heard about it yesterday because, Israelites don't watch the news. But I just figured a second ago, right? These type of situations, right? Judge unseals search warrants as the center police shooting, right? And you can bet that at some point, some type of judgment is going to be slack for these people, right? Give me Habakkuk chapter 1, verse 2. At some point, judgment's going to be slack for them, just like it was slack for Amber Geiger, just like it was slack for, Derek Chauvin, just like it was slack for all of them. Any cop that was convicted and the cops that weren't, right? The ones that got off not guilty, okay? All of these things that happen to our people are part of our condition in hell. This is to remind us that we're not in our state of rest, right? This ain't a place that we at to get the bag, to chase the bag and all that type of stuff, right? It's a video going on right now where it's a little kid who got $15. He's with his little sister and he's singing, we made it. We rich. You know what I'm saying? We got the bag. He's singing a little song with his sister and stuff like that, right? That's the type of things that they teaching our kids. They got them worried about that, as if we in a state of rest, as if this is a place where that's what we're supposed to be doing. That's what that's all we're supposed to be worried about, right? And while things like this is happening to our people, all they want to do is march. You know what I'm saying? March and protest. That's it. It's no waking up to try to find out why this keeps happening. They want to go to the white man and try to make him give us laws that are going to fix the situation. Well, damn well, if it ain't happened yet, it ain't going to happen, nigga. How long they had to give you guys laws that was going to stop this type of stuff from happening, and why haven't they done it yet? Right? It's because of the situation you're in as far as hell, the condition that you're in, right? You're not supposed to get that type of judgment here. It's not for you. This is not your heaven. This is not your kingdom. You the servant here, right? Read that, Habakkuk.
Khan, this is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 1 and verse 2. O Lord, how long shall I cry, and thou wilt not hear? Even cry out unto thee of violence, and thou wilt not save.
Yeah, you see that? So how long are we going to cry out, right? You would think, just look. You go back to last year when the Asian parlors got shot up and stuff. How long did they have to cry before they got help? Didn't take that long, right? About 30 days, and they got $50 million. They marched twice. You feel me? Y'all been marching since 1955. Right? Y'all was marching across the country since 1965. And they still ain't put no laws in place to stop none of this stuff from happening to y'all. Y'all are still the only ones crying, right? About not getting the judgment that you need. About these type of things happening to your people constantly over and over and over again. If this ain't hell, why haven't you stopped crying about this stuff yet? Why is it our people the only ones going through the situation? Why they ain't no knock a white boy yet and shoot him up? Why they ain't no knock a, Shing Song Wen?
Bro, they never no knock a white man. You just said something I never know.
Right? Why the Hamite ain't getting shot up yet? Why they ain't run up in his house and got him right? Why Elon, buddy, why he ain't get shot up yet? Buddy, no, hands up, don't shoot, buddy. He ain't had to do that yet. Because they're all in their kingdom. We the ones in hell, right? Keep going, read that.
Khan, verse 3. Why dost thou show me in iniquity? Salakia, show me iniquity, and cause me to behold grievance.
Why does he show us iniquity? Why does he show us or cause us to be grievous, right? Why are we the ones grieving all day long? Why are we the ones in the streets cold in the wintertime, right? Why are we the ones getting shot up by the police? Why are we the ones that had to start a Black Lives Matter campaign as if the world don't know that our lives matter? Why they had to start a Brown Lives Matter campaign as if they didn't know that their lives matter? Why they had to do that? Why ain't no Asian Lives Matter campaign? Why ain't no Arab Lives Matter campaign? White Lives Matter campaign? Ain't none of that exists. Because it's known that their lives matter because they're in their kingdom. They're in heaven, right? We the ones got to do that because we're in hell. That's the answer to the question. Keep going.
For spoiling and violence are before me, and there are that rise up strife and contention. Therefore the law is slacked, and judgment doth never go forth.
You see that? Judgment never goes forth correctly for us, man. We never get the judgment that we need here. The reason why is because it's slack, and it's going to continue to be slack because it's not for us here. We in hell, right? So Most High is going to continue to let things like this happen to our brothers and sisters, right? As you come to the truth, it's going to start to hurt when you see it because it's like, damn, that brother could have woke up. We ain't going to get a chance to do it now. We never gonna get a chance to wake that brother up because they took him from us. Right? Never gonna get a chance to wake that sister up because they took her from us. We don't know what he was doing before. We don't know if the Most High gonna have mercy on him or not. And we didn't get a chance to get him right. You know what I'm saying? These are the things that you think about when you're in the truth and you've been in it for a little while and you keep seeing this stuff happen. So, I mean, yeah, it's hell. We're the only ones going through that. We're the only ones that know what it's like to think like that and to feel like that about our people getting, shot down all the time and judgment actually being slack. And we're going to be the only ones that continue to feel that pain because of the condition that we're in until we do the things that's needed to come about that condition, which is come back to the laws that we broke. Go ahead.
Con.
Hey, my bad.
Yeah.
One more piece of Isaiah 59:14. It's on point with the top. Get that.
Con, it's the book of Isaiah, chapter 59 and verse 14. And it reads, and judgment is turned away backward, and justice standeth afar off.
You see? So judgment and justice, they stand afar back, right? They far off. Is there any more on that? What the next verse say?
Reading on verse 14. For truth is fallen in the street, and equity cannot enter.
There you go. Right. So truth is falling in the street, man. You can look at that two ways. The law's falling in the street. Brothers ain't following it, which is the facts, right? That way no equity could come forth. We can't build ourselves up as a nation because we don't even know the law that's supposed to give us that equity, right? You know what I'm saying? Us as a people, we only going to get built up the way that we're supposed to get built up by, actually being able to, actually being able to keep the law, follow it. But if it's been tossed down, brothers don't even know about it, right? Or if they do know about it, but they just choosing to ignore it because of the lies they've been taught about the scriptures and it being their nationality and stuff, right? That takes away our opportunity to build ourselves up. That takes away the equity from our nation, right? It keeps justice and judgment far off from us because the Most High is not dealing with us because we're not doing the things that we need to do in order to make him deal with us, right? Which is keep the laws. So that's also something that we got to keep in mind. Isaiah knew that too. We're going to stay in hell until we get back to the law, statutes, and commandments. Judgment is going to continue to be slack for our people.
Hey, Con, all praises. Hey, somebody get Habakkuk 2 and 5.
Con.
And the other brother get the other brother get First Maccabees 1 and 41. Who's getting
Con, this is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2 and verse 5. Yea, also, because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people.
Hey, Salakia. So it says, yea, because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who desire enlargeth his desire as hell. Who is this talking about? I'm gonna give him. Go ahead, Kai. Go ahead. Who's this talking about?
Khan, this talking about the damn devil Esau.
Okay, Khan. This is talking about Esau, the damn devil, man. Right? It says he's a proud man. We know that the book of Obadiah talks about how he said, who will bring me down into the ground? And we're gonna get into that just a little bit in Isaiah. But it says neither is he a keeper at home. He has his embassies everywhere. He's in every waters of every land, right? Who enlarges his desire as hell. Everywhere he touches, he takes his democracy, he turns that place into a damn hell house. That's what Esau does. He destroys everything everywhere he's at, right? It said, and is as death and cannot be satisfied, but gathered unto him all nations and heap unto him all people. This is not nothing new. There's nothing new over the sun, under the sun. Right? Esau been this way. Give me that in First Maccabees real quick. We're going to read 41 and 42.
Fuck yeah, you wanted First Maccabees
1 and 41.
Okay. It's the book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 1 and verse 41. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people, and everyone should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king.
Bro, this is nothing new, bro. This is America, that great melting pot. Everybody leave their laws. You back up, Jeremiah, for me. I'm gonna mute you. All right. Everybody leaves their laws, their traditions, their customs, and then they join unto America. And now everybody keeps their laws, their traditions, their customs. Right? Read the next verse, King.
Come, verse 43. Yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion and sacrificed unto idols and profaned the Sabbath.
And we're gonna drop that. This is why we're teaching this class. A lot of the Israelites have consented to their religion. We got their ideologies. So now we have to unlearn everything that they've taught us and relearn the truth, or learn the truth for the first time, right? So let's move on. Somebody give me Isaiah 14 and 9. And then this is my last one. So if you got more precepts, I don't want, you can go ahead before I get into heaven. Yeah, come. You on mute.
I'll close it out for the hell part. That's fine.
All right, come. Give me Isaiah 14. Matter of fact, give me, man, I want to start at verse 1. Let's just start at verse 3, doggone. Whoever gonna read it, go ahead. Go ahead, Jeremy.
It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 14. It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 14 and verse 3. And it shall come to pass in the day that the Lord shall give thee rest from thy sorrow and from thy fear and from the hard bondage wherein thou was made to serve.
Come on, keep going. I ain't gonna stop you till that verse 9.
Come, that thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon, and say, how hath the oppressor ceased, the golden city seized? The Lord hath broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger, is persecuted, and none hindereth. The whole earth is at rest, and is quiet. They break forth into singing. Yea, the fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon, saying, since thou art laid down, no feller is come up against us.
Hey, Salaki, now, I've heard this playing two ways. That we know if you go throughout the Bible, you can liken trees unto people or nations, right? But I heard a brother say, even the real trees is going to be like, sheesh, ain't nobody going to come cut me down, make no paper out of me or nothing. You know, Esau, they destroy everything. They turned the plains of North America into concrete jungles, man. You know what I'm saying? Say it again.
We still gonna be cutting trees down, you know what I'm saying? Because
I know that
we're gonna be making them build the houses. The difference is we gonna have power to, make them grow back. We ain't just gonna leave them stumped up like Esau do.
All these concrete jungles ain't gonna be a thing no more, bro. It's gonna be vegetation on the earth, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Hey, we learned in school, trees is part of how we breathe. Esau will kill what sustains life. Like, we know that.
The earth. He's a mad scientist,
right?
They'll kill themselves to make the creation last,
Right?
Why they're mad.
Hey, this is the beginning of our salvation right here, man. It says, hey, the oppression has ceased. The golden city has ceased, right? Now the whole earth is at rest, right? Now we have rest from our sorrow and the bitter bondage that we were made to serve. Read verse 9.
Khan is the book of Isaiah, chapter 14 and verse 9. Hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming.
Hey, it said hell from beneath is moved to meet thee at thy coming. We gonna get what that means. Keep going.
It stirreth up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth. It hath raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations. And they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we?
Salakia. Hey, it said the king's gonna be like, hey, you like us now. You down to our level now. Right? You don't became weak as us, man. Keep going.
Art thou become like unto us?
Salakia. Now read the first two words in the next verse and stop.
Thy pomp.
Right? What is pomp? Somebody put it in the chat, man. What's pomp? You know, America got pomp and circumstance. I used to hate that stuff. Right? What's pomp? Somebody let me know. We know it's going to be a little delay. Matter of fact, I'll just read to the comment. It says, thy pomp is brought down to the grave. What is the pomp that is brought down to the grave? What is that? Somebody tell me what they're saying. Okay, Shemaiah said music. Not really, but you can think about it like that. All right, the sister with the Hebrew name that I can't read, it says arrogance. I'm gonna remember your name one day, sis. Sakor said arrogance, or you used the word superfluousness. Okay, pride. Okay, that's what I was looking for. Your haughtiness, arrogance, pride. Right? I'll go ahead and read that verse, King.
Count it on verse 11. Thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy vows. The worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee.
Keep going.
How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations?
So their pomp being brought to the ground is their pride, man. They're going to be brought to a lower state now, right? Because the roles are going to be reversed. The same people who used to weaken the nations, the same people who used to shake the nations are going to be brought to a lower state. Keep going, King.
Hey, how far are you going to go on that? Because I don't want you to jump the gun.
I was going to stop at 14.
I still got finished hell. You know what I'm saying? You talking about heaven right now and stuff. You talking about the.
That's why it was my last precept. I'll stop
right
there. Go ahead. I'll stop right there. Go ahead.
Bring the rest of that out when I finish this part.
Okay.
You talking about the rest, the scripture.
That was gonna lead me into heaven. You feel me?
Yeah, I feel. But I want to remind them we ain't there yet, right? So give me Micah 2:10, okay? Because like you said, right? The Christian church be making us, be making us jump the gun sometimes. They thinking you in the right spot. You can make heaven right now on earth if you want to. It's Israelites that think that. The ones that don't believe in Hamashiach could think that, he came already or whatever, because there's some of them out there. And then they feel that we supposed to just be trying to make our own, destiny out here on earth. We're supposed to put things into our own hands. Some feel we should, put it in into our own hands until Hamashiach comes back. To an extent, that's true, but we're not supposed to give ourselves salvation because we can't do that. But what you got to realize, first and foremost, though, is that this is not your rest. You are in a state of captivity still until this day, as Baruch 3:8 says, right? And until we, rise up out of that state of captivity, this is where we at. So give me that. Baruch, Micah 2:10.
Khan, this is the book of Micah, chapter 2 and verse 10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. Because it is polluted, it shall destroy you.
You see that?
Even with a sore destruction.
So it's polluted, man. This whole place Everything in this place, anything that you could do with your money once you get the money is not going to be the best thing for you to do. It's not going to be something that you could do when you get into the kingdom, right? That's these things, trading stocks and all that other crap. We ain't going to be worried about that when we get into the top spot. You feel me? So everything that you set your sights on right now, as opposed to, or when it comes to you getting rest, right? Whatever you call rest, whether it be vacations or whatever it is, right? You brothers that like to go indulge in your lust and all that type of stuff, right? That's not stuff that we're supposed to be indulging in. Why does my phone keep dying? What's going on? But yeah, so that's what I want you guys to understand, right? This is not our rest. But in order to get to where we're trying to go to, right, there's things that we have to do. We can't continue to pine away in our sin here, right? Because that keeps us in the condition that we in. So just so Judah can get to talking about what he's got to talk about, let's get Baruch chapter 4, verse 1. All right. And then we could get back to y'all walking into the rest that he was talking about, right? Because once you get into that state where, Most High will, we've made it into the kingdom, we're in the land, we're doing what we're supposed to be doing there, and we've got the heathen under our subjection, the roles automatically turn, as it says in Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 7, right? All the curses that were on us are going to fall upon them to the extent where they got to, fare well with that double. You feel me? They're going to have to endure double. They got to drink the double cup, drink the dregs, and all that stuff, right? So that's what they have to look forward to in their hell. Our hell was a little bit easier, if you will, right? The Most High even says that he shortened the time, right? He's made the days short so that we wouldn't have to experience too much of a difficult time here, right? So there is going to come a time when that scripture that Judah just read that he's going to get back to is going to happen, right? We are going to Most High will walk into our rest and be in our rest at that time. It's just that time is not now, right? And America has tried to sway us in a position just because you can make a certain amount of money here, whatever it might be. You could retire your family, you could get your Bentley, your Rolls Royce, you could get your mansion, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. Your bank account, you could become a hedge fund manager, whatever it is, right? On a basketball team, you know what I'm saying, whatever. But they want you to associate that type of stuff with heaven, with you having rest, right? With you getting everything that the Most High wants you to have in life, when really that could be your deception. That could be your strong delusion, right? You ain't want to come back to the laws. Most High let you think you got your heaven on earth right now. And when it comes to you really being in a position to have real heaven on earth, you wasn't worthy of it. So you got to be careful. Walk the fine line. You know what I'm saying? So read that. Baruch 4:1, and I'm done.
Khan, this is the book of Baruch, chapter 4 and verse 1. This is the book of the commandments of God, and the law that endureth forever. All they that keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die.
Right? If you stay away from these law, statutes, and commandments, you're going to stay in hell, right? And that eventually is going to lead to your light being put out. Okay? So, yeah. But if you come back, it could lead to you setting yourself free, giving yourself an opportunity to endure to the end, to be saved. And once you're saved, that's when you get to enter into that kingdom of heaven, right? So that's what we all should be hoping for and working for. With that, I yield. Let's talk about heaven.
Con. So let's get Isaiah 14. We're going to go back to 13 and 14. We're going to get into heaven, man. Then I'm going to further go into what the other one was just explaining on how to get out of this condition. All right, go ahead, King.
Hey, do your thing for a minute. I'm stepping away for a little bit. Okay. Shalom.
Con. It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 14 and verse 13. For thou hast said in thine heart,